Welcome to the Sixth Formula podcast, a podcast made by sixth formers for sixth formers.
And in today's episode, we're going to be talking about how to best utilize the summer holiday. It's quite a relevant topic because a lot of us Year 13s are now on summer holiday, and a lot of you Year 12s might be going into your holiday soon. So we want to talk about the best strategies to use in your holiday, whether you should be locked in for your holiday or not, how to study, how to revise, how to balance everything, how to set goals, and etc.
Now, we've had 8 questions come in from people that we know, right? People that want to understand how to utilize the summer. Because summer is what? It's like 6 weeks, right, Gavin? 6 weeks roundabout. And 6 to 7 weeks if you think about it. But the thing is with summer, right? Summer, it can be a time where you can either do nothing or you can do everything. So at the end of the day, we're here to help you guys with the summer. So for our first question, should I lock in for the summer? Now, what do you think about this, Gavin?
I think the short answer is yes, but I think it's not just about locking in 24/7 because that's just not sustainable. I'd say that you should kind of segment your day. So like maybe if you get up at like 6 a.m. and then from like 7 to 9 is when you're locked in. Maybe if you're in year 12, you're doing your revision then at that time. If you're in year 13, you finished A-levels, maybe you're doing some kind of business, maybe building a business, working on some kind of project, learning a new skill, etc. That can be your time to like lock in. I think after that, you should actually look to like not be locked in. So going out with friends, having fun, having new experiences, etc.
Yeah, because to add on to Gavin's point, right? It's not healthy to just go in all on one thing, right? You gotta devise your day up. Essentially, right? You gotta enjoy your summer, but also be productive. And if you're productive during your summer, you're gonna feel great. Imagine like your mental health's gonna be great, your physical health will be great as well, because you're learning new skills. And like honestly, like compared to like doing nothing, if you do nothing, right, you're just gonna be lethargic and you're gonna feel like depressed, innit?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And if you feel depressed, then like you might be cooked for year 13. So it's the thing with sixth form, like how I view it, right? It builds on itself. So if you lock in for the summer, you're building onto your foundations, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And like, you know what I also think, right? Like, now with me personally, right? I didn't actually use the summer effectively. For half of it, I was on holiday, which to be honest, you can't really do anything, right? Now, you guys obviously gotta go on holiday, Year 12 is a hard experience, that's for certain. But when you're not on holiday, you have to use the time effectively. And I think, right, with like that time effectiveness, you got to do stuff that actually matters. You got to consolidate your weaknesses. You got to, maybe if you've like got like, what's it called? Admission tests. You got to go in for those. You just got to make sure that you're prepared for year 13. And that's what I think the summer's really about for year 12 only.
Yeah, definitely. And that's basically.
Yeah, well, what more can we really say to that? The summer at the end of the day is like your own thing. It's your own oyster. You can do whatever you want with it.
Yeah.
Now, with the second question, a viewer has said that they've got loads of different things they want to achieve in the summer. But how do I prioritize my goals? Despite knowing the fact that, it's summer, right? So I think if you've got lots of different things, you can't have too many eggs in too many baskets, right? Because if you've got too many eggs in too many baskets, that's just going to result in you putting in less work for more things. And then overall, your work won't be as good, right? You want to be in such a position that let's say you focus on 2 or 3 things, like, I don't know, personal statement and your grades, right? And then you'll be set. You'll be set for year 13. Maybe you want to do degree apprenticeship, right? And you can consolidate your effort on all those types of things. What do you think, Gavin?
Yeah, I agree. I think for me as well, when I was in year 12, I had a lot of things that I was doing. Like I was applying to the UCAS, to UK universities. I was applying to US universities. I wanted to apply for degree apprenticeships. For UCAS, I was doing my admission exams for like Cambridge. So I had a lot of things going on. Like I had too many different things that I was trying to do at once. And, like you said, like too many eggs in too many baskets. So, I ended up kind of not maybe being able to put my best effort towards any of those things. Exactly. Whereas if I just kind of narrowed down my field of vision towards maybe 2 or 3 things that I want to really focus on, then you can achieve a lot more in those areas. Right, next question. I've got big goals in mind for the summer, but I'm just so unmotivated. What do I do? Okay, this is an interesting one because I think this is one that we could both say applies to us, where you've got goals in mind, but you know, when it comes to actually just doing it, you just kind of procrastinate, or you end up just doing the things that you're not meant to really be doing. I think here, you really have to take on like a mindset of consistency over intensity. I think for me, it's like, if you try and just change suddenly, like, okay, I'm gonna just lock in today and then whatever, you end up like maybe doing that thing for like a few days, but then you could just kind of fall off afterwards. So I think to fix that, you have to take on the mindset of like, okay, I'm just gonna focus on, being like 10% better, and then, progressing it from there. It's kind of like progressive overload in the gym, but for like your routine and for your lifestyle instead. So yeah, what do you think, Harmon?
I think you're absolutely right, Like, I remember, well, this example doesn't apply to the summer, but you remember our November mocks, right?
Yeah.
Now, I got a really low B in those. So it's actually like a decreasing
Yeah.
grade, because I got a high B in the year 12 mocks and then a low B in the summer mocks. In the summer mocks? No, in the November mocks. Whatever, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, right, it's because I was just trying to put so much on my plate. I only focused on further, but I didn't consolidate on other subjects as well.
Yeah.
So I think consistency is much better than intensity. If you're doing too much, you're just going to burn out. And if you burn out, well, then you're going to get nothing done.
Yeah.
So, what's that thing called, right? Where it's like 1.01% to the power of like 365?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That thing. Yeah.
Yeah. That thing, right? It's essentially compound interest. You think about it. Things will just add up, add up, add up. And then eventually, I think you guys will be good, honestly.
Yeah.
That's the thing with like people, right? People, they try to do so much. But at the end of the day, we're only human at the end of the day, right? We can't do too much.
Yeah.
And like, I think the lack of motivation really applied to me in year 12, I think we were all burnt out.
Yeah.
I think you've got to take like a week off. You've got to relax for a little bit, What do you think about that?
It's interesting. I think the thing is, right, is like when people talk about like taking a week off or whatever, it's like, I don't know, because it's like on one hand it's like, yeah, like, you worked hard and whatever, and like you deserve a rest, but then it's like, like the grind is not necessarily about what you're doing, it's more about the mindset that you have. And like, if you're trying to switch off that mindset, then I think it's very hard to like get back into that mindset afterwards. So for me, it's like I've noticed that whenever I like take my foot off the pedal and like kind of let myself take things more chill, that's when it starts to go downwards. Like that's when I start to become less consistent with my habits, or I start to kind of like fall off, because it's like you're kind of letting go of that mindset, and like you're letting yourself be okay with not being or not trying hard enough. So I think like you shouldn't necessarily I think this is my opinion, you shouldn't take a week off necessarily, but rather you should just like have like a set time in the day where you just lock in, and then the rest of the day you can do whatever you want, because like as long as you get that revision or whatever it is they're trying to do done, maybe like earlier in the morning, and then you have the rest of the day to like do whatever you want. So you're not really going to burn out that way either.
Yeah.
But you still kind of keep that mindset of like, okay, I still need to revise, I still need to lock in or whatever.
It like comes about with that idea, right, of like people, like we guys can't do too much, but we are human. We've done so much, right? So at the end of the day, I think it's like swimming, right? You don't start at the deep end, you start at the shallow end, and then eventually you go in. So I think I agree with Gavin, he's changed my opinion on that. Because like with the summer, right, I mean with A-levels, like year 13, it's a whole different thing, right?
That's true.
Because of like year 13, like, I can't lie, you've had 2 years of exams. I think you're allowed a rest for it,
fair enough.
Like, for the first week, I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
But for year 12s, how is like a year 12 workload? It's not that bad, really, unless you do like 4 A-levels.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think with this is a bit of a side tangent, but I think when it comes to year 12, like it's kind of late saying it for you guys, but anyone who's maybe going into year 12, if you literally just revise from like the first day of the year and like do that pretty consistently, like not every single day, but like, 80% of the time, you're revising every day, then that will compound very quickly. And like, you don't have to like do a whole lot every day, but just doing something every day, it adds up very quickly compared to like if you don't really do anything for like the first half of the year, and then you're trying to like rush, trying to get to
Exactly.
like from like a D to an A star or something.
And
So,
you know the thing, right? Like with people that cram, yeah.
hmm,
Like we, do you remember before our like stats mechanics exam,
hmm,
right? It was a certain exam. No, it was Corpio 1 or Corpio 2.
yeah.
I just didn't do any revision before it.
Do you mean the real A levels though?
The real A
Oh, the
levels.
real, okay.
Like the day before, I didn't cram at all. Do
Yeah,
you know why?
yeah.
Because I didn't need to.
You don't need to, yeah.
We didn't need to because we had
Yeah.
already built up such a good foundation of knowledge
Hmm.
that we were like, yo, I'm chilling.
Yeah.
And then I swear, now you guys didn't hear this from me, but I was playing Fortnite the whole day, so I can't really say anything. But you know what? You guys got to build up a good foundation.
Hmm.
If you don't build a good foundation, then your house is just going to get toppled down. You guys
Yeah.
don't want to be homeless, do you? You can
Fair
take
enough,
that
fair
both
enough.
ways, you know.
Yeah.
So for the fourth question, right? How can I use the summer to optimize for the future? From year 12 to year 13 or year 13 to uni/apprenticeship?
Hmm. So if you're in year 12 or year 13, first of all, I think before you even think about what you're going to do, you got to think like, okay, what is the thing that I want to achieve? Like when I'm in year 13, like think about like you're at the end of year 13, you just finished your A levels. What is the thing that you're going to be looking forward to in the future? Is it university? Is it an apprenticeship? Is it maybe like doing an apprenticeship, sorry, doing uni internationally? Is it taking a gap year? Like, what is it that you want, like, truly? And I think with that, it's really important that you don't think about other people's goals. I think for me personally, so I ended up applying, like I said, to UK universities, US universities, apprenticeships, like just everything, right? And the thing is like an apprenticeship is actually what I wanted from the start of year 12. So that's something that I actually did want.
Mm.
UK universities, I guess I didn't mind it, but like the apprenticeship was more important for me. And then US universities, like obviously on paper it's cool to go to America and like study there. There's a lot of benefits to it actually, but it was more of a thing where like I applied there because it was like what you're meant to do, or it's like someone of like my level should be applying to US
Mm.
unis, or that's what the people around me are doing. So it's like you have to like let go of those external factors and think like, what do you actually want? So I think for me, I was applying to US unis, and then kind of like halfway through that process, I realized that I didn't actually want to do it, and then that meant that I kind of gave like a very lackluster effort towards that. So I didn't actually get any US uni offers anyway. But then what that cost was like time that I could have spent applying for more apprenticeships or putting more time into like, university UK university preparation.
I think Gavin's absolutely right. Basically, what he's saying is just consolidate your goals first. If you can consolidate your goals first and make like an active framework to get to those goals, you'll be fine, you know. And like at the end of the day, right? Like like some things just aren't worth doing if you know they aren't for you, right?
Yeah.
Like I wanted to do what's it called? I wanted to do like this thing, right? It's like an accountancy apprenticeship in year 12.
Yeah.
And then I was applying with Simon with this, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, this is like we didn't tell you guys this, but
Okay.
I was applying with Simon for this, right? And like midway, I'm like, this is so stupid, you know. 'Cause I don't actually want to do this.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about it for the money. But like, if you're like, firstly, if you guys are being like forced to do a career, you can't let that stop you. You got to do what you want at the end of the day, right? Because you can't let certain things like that ruin your future, right? You don't want to be forced to do something you can't do. And then that means you can optimize for your future because you know what goals to do. But this is for year 12s, really.
Yeah.
For year 13s, I'd say, honestly, you have to enjoy your summer 100%. I think make your summer about memories. Enjoy, go out with your friends, do whatever you want. Like, you gotta relax, right? A levels are like such a drain.
Yeah, fair enough.
But you can't like, slack around, you know. You gotta get
Yeah.
like really important things done.
Yeah.
You can't let your laziness beat your ambition. And also, I think for year 12s, right, you've got to definitely practice your subjects. You can't
Yeah.
leave them, you know.
Yeah.
I did this, right, in my year 12 summer, and it actually messed me up so bad, you know. You know, like with sociology, right?
Yeah.
So we had done education families, and research methods, which is 3 topics, right? There's like 400 sociologists in that.
Damn.
And there's also the AO2 you need to know, the AO3 you need to know. And I've got it all. Now, thank God, I think I did really well on the papers. But that's only because I had to revise so much. So what I think you guys got to do, you guys just got to be consistent and
Yeah.
you'll consolidate your future.
Yeah. I think, like, broadly speaking, when it comes, like, if you're in year 12, there's like, I say about 6 main things that you can do in the holiday. So number 1 is like consolidating year 12 content. Number 2 is like, if you want, like, learning year 13 content ahead of time. Then you have like university admission exam prep. So if it's like TMUA, LNAT, UCAT, etc.
Yeah.
Then you have like doing degree apprenticeship preparation, maybe like starting to do mock interviews, researching the companies that you want to apply for, looking at like company values, optimizing your CV, etc. Number 5, I guess, is like work experience stuff. So, going for different work experiences, building up your CV from that. And then number 6, what was number 6? Or just general, like doing a UCAS related
Yeah,
stuff, like
exactly.
personal statement and stuff. So you have those 6 like broad things that you want to be doing, like when it comes to like academia and like your future pathway. And then just within that, you got to narrow it down to like 2 or 3 things that you want to actually commit towards, depending on like where you want to go in the future. So obviously, if you want to do a degree apprenticeship, then you got to focus on that mainly. If you want to do like the uni stuff, then obviously you focus on that. So you got to just decide like, okay, what is it that I want? And then just narrow it down from there.
Yeah, exactly. Like, also, I think, right, with certain careers, right, you've got to lock in for like those. Because if you're doing like medicine, for instance, like a UCAT is the most important thing you can do. Because if you like mess up on the UCAT, for example, can't lie, you're gonna have to do another year,
Yeah.
Like, it's like genuinely, like,
Yeah.
we've got some friends, we won't say their names, right? But like, you know who I'm on about, right? And their UCATs got messed up so bad. And then they couldn't even go to uni because of it. And they're taking gap years now.
Yeah.
Hopefully they don't get mad at us for saying this. But thing is with the LNAT, right? With the LNAT, it's like, it's extremely hard, I'll be honest. And that's why I didn't do it. Because it was genuinely really hard. Because certain things you just can't revise for. It's basically like an aptitude test.
Okay.
Which, it means you gotta be like, really like, situational and observational, and you got to know all these things. You got to be able to work in a corporate environment and like a law type environment without actually having gotten the experience.
Yeah.
Which is really hard for a student, which is
Yeah.
why so many people mess up on it. And I saw a Cambridge professor do the exam and he got like 80%. A Cambridge professor, he has like 20 years of experience.
That's mad.
So honestly, guys, whatever your priorities are, whatever you really want to do, like, find it and then just go for it, because you are your only limiting factor, I'll be honest. Now, for our 6th question, right? Oh, I meant the 5th question.
5th one.
The 5th one. Guys, we have mess ups. What non-negotiables are required for students to do over the summer?
Okay, this one's a student, so I guess, I kind of is similar to the previous question. I think, broadly speaking, okay, this is going to go into like some research that I've done. So there's a book called Deep Work by Cal Newport, right? I read it a while ago, to be fair, but the premise is like, you want like a block of time in your day where you're just like in what's called a flow state. So basically, like, you're not, checking your phone, you're not getting distracted, you're like doing some kind of work related task and you're literally like immersed in it, like fully. Like, you can imagine like if like a basketballer is playing a basketball game, like they're not thinking about like what they're gonna like do with their friends afterwards or something. They're not thinking about random things. They're just focused on that thing in the moment. Like, they're fully present. You can imagine like if you're in an exam as well, usually like you are pretty focused on the exam. Like, you're in a flow state. You're just kind of thinking about the current question that you're on. It's like you get that adrenaline kind of. So you want to basically be able to cultivate that work environment on like ideally like a daily basis. And the thing is with deep work is that it doesn't have to be like 10 hours a day, right? It's just not possible to do 10 hours a day. So that's why people say like you should only revise like a couple hours a day, but it should be like a couple hours of deep work rather than doing like 5 or 10 hours of what's called shallow work. So I think in your holiday, especially if you're like in year 12, just having some, even if it's like an hour a day, where you're just doing like some kind of deep work, whether it's related to A levels, whether it's admission exam prep,
Mm.
whatever it is, right? What do you think?
I think you're absolutely right, but you forgot some bits, you know.
What?
My non-negotiables: no doom scrolling, no gooning, nothing of the sort, right? And like honestly, yeah, like you guys, your health is the most important thing you've got, you know.
Yeah,
Like
that's true.
you may feel invincible right now, but trust me, yeah, you're gonna become unks one day. You're gonna be like, oh, I can't even walk or some bullshit like that, right? And honestly, you know, with Gavin's deep work principle, right? It's absolutely true. Honestly, I think all you really need is 2 to 3 hours a day, focusing on your weaknesses, creating some form of consolidation, and eventually you'll get there. I mean, like there's so many good resources online.
Yeah.
Like honestly, like back in the day, right? Oh my god, like for further maths, like in year 12, like year 12 summer, there was no resources that we knew at the time. Like all we really had was PMT
PMT.
and Bison maths.
Bison Mats, the goat.
Bison maths is so goated, by the way. Guys, did you know that Gavin is this question writer?
Oh yes.
Oh my god, you know what? That's actually an aura farm, you know.
That's a whole other episode actually. Stay tuned.
But you know what? With like all those types of things, right? I just think you've got to be extremely focused and you've just got to work on your weaknesses. And then you've also just got to get in that routine. I think routine is definitely one of the biggest non-negotiables.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Like people with routines, right? Now I've got this problem especially where I'll be in a routine and then I'll get out and then it will take me like 2 weeks to get back into it. So I would say don't burn out from your routines at all. If
Yeah.
anything, just adapt it to whatever you want.
All right. Let's have a look at the next question. What is a good routine for year 12s and a good routine for year 13? So this is obviously during the holiday, right? Okay, so year 12s, I think, first of all, like, the routine itself, like, it can vary person to person. Like, everyone's got different goals, different things that they're working towards, so it does vary. I think, broadly speaking, though,
Wait, can I interrupt?
yeah, go on.
There's this thing, right? Essentially, people have like different types of sleeping, right? Because of our ancestors and whatnot. Like
Yeah.
the hunters would stay up, right, just to make sure people wouldn't get attacked.
Oh, yeah.
And then
true.
the certain people would just sleep because they were farmers, I'm pretty sure, which actually affects your sleeping patterns to this day. So with the sleeping thing, right, I'd say get it checked out, you know. If you sleep at like 12 a.m., yeah, which I won't lie, I'm a little bit on that right now. You should definitely like get your sleep sorted out first. But you should check what type of sleeping patterns you got, and you should put that into your routine for year 12s and year 13s. All right, go on.
So, like, so you're saying, like, if someone is, like, naturally, like, a night owl, they should just stay as that way?
I think yeah, because it's at the end of the day, it's your own biology. I don't know how you'd reverse your biology. Can you?
I mean, I think because with your sleep, like, it's basically your circadian rhythm, innit?
Yeah.
And that's something that you can adapt that, right? Like, if you just, like, consistently wake up earlier or later, then that will adjust your circadian rhythm over time. But I do think, I'm not sure, I haven't researched it necessarily, but I'd assume that you can kind of, like, biohack your way to, like, being able to sleep earlier and get up earlier.
I think, right, it goes back to that sense of, like, like the swimming pool analogy. You got to go into the shallow end, like a little bit, and then eventually you get into the deep end. Now, there's this, like, thing, right? This is this, like, funny alpha male podcaster clip. This guy was talking about how he's got 48 hours in a day, right? And this goes back into my routine thing, right? Now, obviously, that guy's bullshitting, right? He's obviously clip farming, which I am right now as well. Nah, I'm joking, guys. But seriously, I think waking up early is one of the biggest tenets of actually getting things done. When you wake up early, your brain is naturally primed for it.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact science behind it, but your brain, it just feels more alert, it feels more awake when you're doing work in the morning. It's almost like it's like naturally primed for it.
Yeah.
And that's probably goes back to our like the hunter-gatherers. Because like our societies, right, like hundreds of thousands of years ago, they were made up of hunter-gatherers. So they would have to wake up at any time.
That's
So
true.
waking up early, definitely one of the biggest things you can do. And like, don't listen to music in the morning, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely like a really big thing.
Yeah, I think in general, just just avoid like dopamine sources like within the first like 2-3 hours of the morning, like or like before you've done your like deep work task or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's like music, video games, just like content in general. Just like, I think for me, So like you would get up maybe like 6 a.m. or something, or just whatever time is like
Yeah, yeah.
good enough for you. One that you can stick to consistently. That's the main thing. And then you get up. You've got whatever your morning routine is. Some people like to go down that like ice bath and this and that. Like you can do that if you want. But I think just find the habits that like work for you. So for me right now, I just like meditate for literally like 5 minutes in the morning.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I read a bit for like maybe 10, 15 minutes of just any book or whatever. Then I go into my deep work from there. Um, and then once you've done your deep work, then you can like have breakfast or something. And then you can, after that, you have more like free time to like do whatever you want. But I think just like making sure that you get that morning correct, I think it just sets you up for a very good day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And what I'll say, right now, this is a bit of a side tangent, but like religion, it plays so well into the morning routine. You know.
That's true.
Now, like for Sikhs, right? Obviously, I'm a Sikh, right? Because you have to wake up at like dawn time, essentially. It's like 4 to 4:30 a.m. You can wake up and get your work done for like 2 hours, and you can wake up at 6, and you can like go back to sleep at like 6 a.m. and do whatever you want. I mean, like obviously, I'm not suggesting you do that because you'll be waking up for school like in September, October time, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, like religion, like if you're a Muslim, right, you can pray in the morning and then you can go do your work. Same with like if you're a Hindu, a Christian, like you can like bind your spirituality to your education.
That's true. That's true.
And like God blesses those that have worked hard, right?
Yeah, yeah. And then I mean, with that, I think that raises like another point, which is like, there's a book called Atomic Habits, right, by James Clear. And one thing he talked about was like habit stacking.
Yeah.
So like, you kind of like attach the habits to each other. So it's like, for example, if you're in your morning routine, it's like you have, for example, you go and grab your toothbrush, and then let's say you want to get into the habit of like flossing your teeth as well. So like you've got your floss, like it's just next to your toothbrush. So like it gives you, when you grab a toothbrush, you get the prompt of like, oh, I need to floss my teeth as well.
Yeah, exactly.
And that makes you more likely to do it. So you can kind of like stack your habits in that way. So let's say if you want to like meditate, so if you want to read a book after you've meditated, you can do your meditation, and then you can like meditate somewhere where like you've got a book like just there in your eyesight once you've done meditating. And then that kind of prompts you to like, oh, I need to read as well. Then you can go grab your book, and then maybe you sit at your desk where you're going to do your deep work afterwards. So you've done your reading, you put your book away, and you're already at your desk ready to like start working. So just basically like optimizing your environment over the holiday, and like your routine, so that you kind of like get these habits stacked together, and that can help you like be more consistent as well.
Yeah, I'd say I designate like the weekend, for instance, to just go out with your friends. If I'm honest, right, I don't think you need to do work on the weekend necessarily. I mean, unless it's like really urgent, right? Because like your brain will essentially be prompted knowing that, oh yeah, it's Saturday and Sunday, I can relax, you know, I can chill, I can do whatever I need to, right? But then with like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, essentially what you can do, you can build a routine that you work in the morning, maybe pray in the morning, maybe read, meditate, whatever, right? And then after you can, I don't know, you can go do your part-time job, you can like maybe watch a movie, you can essentially do whatever you want, right? But at the end of the day, like a routine that's built for you will only work for you. So I think it's really like a personal thing as well.
Yeah.
But for year 13s, right, obviously we don't have that revision aspect now.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, unless you're like resitting again. But honestly, I doubt people resitting again are going to start revising. Like, but the thing is, right, with year 13s, I think you need to replace the revision habit with a good form of discipline. And that could be anything. Could be, I don't know, getting a part-time job. It could be reading more books. It could be becoming more spiritual. It can be whatever you want, right?
Yeah.
Could even be like going to like a stock car race, right? But at the end of the day, a stock car race.
What's that?
You don't know what that is?
Stock car race, nah.
Wait, shall I show you? I'll show you later, innit?
Alright, come on.
Bro, there's one in Dudley, you know?
Is it?
Yeah, like,
What is it? Okay, what is it?
basically, it's like, people make, like, these cars, right? They'll essentially, like, fit them up, and then they'll just race each other.
Oh.
It's like a shittier version of NASCAR. Yeah.
Okay.
You don't know what NASCAR is, do you? Bro, NASCAR, they're doing, like, where do they do NASCAR? They do NASCAR everywhere, you know? Bro, you know what they'll do, innit?
Yeah.
They'll get, like, normal-looking cars. They'll fit them with the most crazy components, and then they'll race them. And I swear most of those cars blow up, you know, because they're just so powerful. But it's like a shittier version of
Yeah.
Formula One. There you
Yeah, yeah, okay.
go. I can't believe you didn't know about stock car races.
Bro.
See, this guy, yeah, he got grade 9s in everything. He doesn't know what a stock car race is, you know? Bro, come on, man.
It's selective ignorance, guys.
Selective ignorance.
Selective ignorance.
Guys,
you get me?
guys.
Like our brains, yeah, they've only got so much capacity, so you gotta like choose what you want to learn.
Yo,
innit?
he's waffling, you know. His
Nah.
brain's got so much capacity, he stores it all in his nose. You know, I can't say much, you know. Big
Alright.
noses, he gain.
Next question. Okay, this is interesting. What's the worst piece of advice that we hear for year 12 students going into year 13 that we've got before?
Now, I'll be honest, right? Like, you can kind of guess what this is. Because the piece of advice that I've heard the worst about is taking a break, not doing anything, and just doing fuck all revision. That's the worst thing.
Yeah.
I think, do you know who I think said that to me? It was a teacher in our school.
Is it?
I don't remember who said it, but a teacher said it to me in our school. And I was just like, what?
I think like, because I think it comes back to what I said earlier. It's like the locking in is it's not really like a action, but more of a mindset or like an identity almost. So, you know, if you like take a break, you're basically saying like, okay, I no longer am locked in, and that's like a permanent switch kind of. So you end up just like, it becomes very hard to get back into that mindset once you've kind of been locked out for a bit. So I think for me, like during my summer holiday in year 12, I took a week, like I went to America, right, for like a week as part of the Sutton Trust US program.
Lucky bastard.
Yeah. Anyway, and then, so that was like a week-long trip to the US, right? And then, like, that was basically a week of me, like, not revising, not being locked in, anything. And then when I came back from that to the UK, like, it was just so hard to, like, get myself back into the routine. Because before that point, I was literally getting up at, like, 5 a.m. every day, 4:30. I was very locked in before that. And then after that, like, it was very hard for me to just switch back on because, again, it's not really about the actions that you do. It's more about the mindset. So if you spend, like, a whole week, like, not living that life,
Exactly.
you kind of signal to your brain that, like, this is no longer who I am. And I think that kind of makes it very hard to get back into it. It's not a matter of just like switching on and off a plug. It's not like, it's like a whole like transformation that happens. And so I think, again, I agree with you. I agree with what you said is like the worst piece of advice is just to like take a big break. I think that can really like mess you up in the long term. Like I said earlier, you should just kind of keep revising, but just do like a little bit every day. And over time, like that will
exactly.
compound.
And you know what, yeah, with revision, right, like, obviously you kind of have to do it, you know, like, it's for your A-levels, guys.
Yeah.
And you don't want to waste that time, right? Time, you know what it is, yeah? I thought, like, in year 12, time would be, like, we had so much time, right? We could do whatever we wanted to. But then, I think, honestly, you need to have a grand scope of the things. A lot of your time will be wasted doing things that don't matter. So you really need to use the time that does matter. Like, maybe you'll have PSHE, maybe you'll have, like... Oh my god, PSHE. Let's not talk about that. It's so stupid, yeah. PSHE does nothing, by the way.
It's
Like,
absolute waste of time.
to any teachers watching this, yeah, like, honestly, PSHE is so useless, and I won't take that opinion back. But you know what I think, right? I think whatever useless things you got, waking up in the morning and having a good routine kind of like it combats it in a sense. And that's why having a good routine is so important.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going back to the previous question.
All right. And we've got one final question to wrap it all up. If we could go back and advise our younger selves for year 12 summer, for the summer holiday, what would we do? Okay. For me, right? So, again, like I tried to do too many things in the holiday and like I had too many goals basically. So I would have probably told my younger self, okay, just like get your journal out or something and just have like spend like a whole day really just generally think about what you actually want in life, and then based on that set your goals, based on that set your routine, etc. So I think looking back, I probably wouldn't have applied to US unis, and I would have spent way more time doing like because I had like the TMUA for like Cambridge, right, and also Imperial. So I would have spent way more time actually preparing for that, and then also like actually utilizing my holidays to actually start applying for apprenticeships, start doing the research well in advance, because I think I kind of
Yeah.
started it in September.
Definitely, man.
I sort of started it in September, right? But I think I could have probably started it much earlier. You know, using the holiday to like do mock interviews, reach out to people. I had LinkedIn. I could have used that to like find
Exactly. Yeah.
apprentices to like reach out to.
And then also, I'd say the admissions test. Start revising from day one.
Yeah.
Genuinely start.
Yeah.
Because those things, honestly, with certain unis, right, they don't really care about your personal statement. Like,
Yeah.
obviously, it can't be shit, right? But it's got to be good to a
Yeah.
certain tad bit. Unless it's for like medicine, really.
Yeah, I mean, the personal statement is like important, but for certain like unis, like the admission test is so important.
Yeah.
Like, you know, your personal statement can be really good, but if your admission test score isn't great, like it's just a bit cooked in it. So
For like Cambridge, Oxford, Imperial,
LSE kind
LSE,
of.
LSE, those types of unis, right? They really want like the admissions tests to be good, and that often involves like doing a lot of work for the TMUA. TMUA, like I was looking at it recently, right? Jesus Christ, it is cooked.
Yeah.
It is really cooked.
It feels like a whole. It's like it's not just like an exam. It's like an entire like A level subject in and of itself. Like you have to literally like dedicate like so much time to it. It's like a whole another subject. It's not just like, oh, like I'm just gonna revise for it like 2 weeks before. Like it takes like literally months to prepare for it. Yeah.
And that's the benefit with summer, right? Like you've got what, 6 weeks, and then let's say you book your exam in like November or December, just before the UCAS deadline, right? I mean, nah, with certain things you've got to do it before though. You got to do it really
Yeah.
early. Like with dentistry, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and like Oxbridge.
Oxbridge as well, right?
Yeah.
And to be fair, like if you just book it before then, and like you just do, so you've got like June, July, August, September, and a little bit of October. That's what, like 4 months, and you'll be fine, you know.
Yeah.
Honestly, with your year 12 summer or even your year 13 summer, I just say you've got to be in that right mindset, you know. You can't waste your time. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah. Time is of the essence, guys.
Time is of the essence, you know.
Yep. That is it for the episode, guys. Hope you enjoyed. We will see you next week with another episode. So stay tuned. Be sure to like and subscribe. And yeah.